This is a commuter review on a 2013 Kawasaki ZX-6 or 636. I have spent on this bike a couple of months now and traveled around 1500 kilometers. So this is my observations about the bike. Again, commuter oriented. First off, the frame of the bike. When I sat on it the first time at minute 1, second 1, day 1, this was my first thing that I noticed. Wow, the bike's frame is so well built and the bike balances so easily. It's amazing at very, very low speeds. It's important in the city that you be agile on a motorcycle. It balances extremely well at slow speeds, and a part of it is the frame geometry. It's an amazing feat what Kawasaki engineers did with this frame, how they improved on previous design like the ZX-6R I tried before, and I thought it could not be improved upon. I was wrong. There it is. It's a lot more refined than the ZX-6R. The other part of it is the bike has a super light weight, and you can look it up in the specs how much it actually is. I also put it on scale if you look through my videos, and it shows you the weight of the bike with the gas tank about 3/4 full, whatever. The bike is lightweight and handles extremely well at slow speeds, so you can do U-turns or any kind of turns in traffic, and you're not a sitting duck. You're extremely agile, and you can maintain your space margins around you with the other road users. The bike also has very good mirrors that don't buzz. It's very important that you have a good view of what's behind you and next to you. Of course, it doesn't. A mirror doesn't replace shoulder checks, but the bike has a very good mirror. And what I also like about it is that they fold away easily and they snap back in place there. And I fold the mirrors away when I park the bike or put a cover on it typically. The bars vibrate minimally and the foot pegs even less. With my mild carpal tunnel, I have to use gloves that are padded on the palm here, and my arms do go numb on this one between 3700 and 4200 RPMs, but only within that range. When it's outside of that range, I'm very fine on this bike, and I like a little extra weight on my arms, so my arms are pointing down as opposed to horizontally or whatever. On an ape hanger, being my fists above my shoulder height, that just doesn't work for me. I like a little weight on my wrists. The seat of the bike is very comfy. When I sit on it, it works perfectly fine. However, I do find when I ride a bike over an hour on the highway, I kind of start shifting around and it starts to hurt, so I need to take a break or something like that. The engine of the bike is it's very nice. I never really used it to its full potential or whatever, but that's not what it's about. I needed an agile, lightweight city transportation, and this bike is it. The engine is torquey. That means you can be in any gear and still accelerate. Okay, I'm not saying it's not a stump puller, so it's not gonna start from stop from the stop line in 6th gear, but it can in 3rd gear with a little bit of feathering of the clutch. So and the RPM range that I use on it is between well, it idles around 1500. It's in city, I use it between 1500 and 4000, and that's where my gear shifts take place. And it's even at that low RPM range, the engine is torquey and it pulls readily. I don't have any issues. The engine braking actually is so strong on the bike because the gearing is close, a very close ratio on it, so there's not a lot of difference between first and second or second and third. So what I find, if I accelerate in first gear from a stop line and say accelerate up to 50 kilometers an hour and the speed limit is 60, I want to shift to second gear. If I shift only to second gear and then I want to go just real casual on the gas, then the speed, I shift up to second, then the speed drops from 50 to about 45 or 40 because the engine braking is so strong on the bike. So I gotta give it more gas to go, but I don't want to buzz the engine so much. So what I find is from first I shift to third, so I double shift right away. So put it in first gear, go vroom, second, third, and then let go of the clutch lever, or second, third, fourth. So sometimes I go from first to fourth right away, just so that just so my head is not bobbing so much in the traffic due to the strong engine braking. So interestingly, and for beginners, the bike is not easy to go fast with. The bike is easy to go slowly with because of the strong engine brake. I also have a very light hand on the throttle too, so I don't have a death grip on it. Suspension, steering, clutch and brakes, you know, they work. Like I said, I didn't rev the hell out of the engine or use it to its full potential, but I don't want to. I need a lightweight, agile city transportation, and this is it. So suspension, I just left it in factory settings. It works. It's got super adjustability for the front and also three-way adjustability for the rear shocks. It's good as is factory settings. Steering damper. The bike doesn't have a steering damper, and some other 600cc bikes do. Well, this one doesn't need one. Whatever the frame geometry and the steering geometry on this bike is, it just doesn't need one. I tried it on rough textured surfaces, smooth roads, bumpy roads, all kinds of situations. Downhills, we have very steep downhills here. I never needed one. It never developed the shimmy with handlebars, so it doesn't need a steering damper at the city speeds that I use and normal legal highway speeds. Never experienced that it would need one. Lastly, highway speeds. The bike at highway speeds is extremely stable, and there's no major wind buffeting. It's got a very good radiator, keeps the engine cool. The engine coolant temperature is at 68 degrees Celsius. It's very nice. And for whatever reason, my hands are not cold on it. Even when it's like relatively cold, like +5 degrees is kind of cold, I can still ride around town with just a glove on. Finally, take a look at the fuel economy figures here. There's metric, there is imperial, and there is US customary. So you don't have to do the math. So it's within that range. That's my experience. An excellent bike, the best I've ever had. Highly recommend, even to beginners.